So we're at Penrite's Fan Appreciation Day. Now the main reason for today is the unveiling of the new 2024 Supercar livery, but there's a lot of cars on display, so we're going to go check out some of those, speak to the owners and see what's new. So it's been about, what, 10 years I think since we did our last video.
You guys come to Vic Drift.
Yeah. Well, a lot of stuff's changed, but a lot of stuff hasn't. You're still drifting, the old Falcon, she's still going, but the thing I love about it, when I saw this online, mate, the new paint scheme is like awesome. You couldn't have done it better.
It's pretty plain, I think.
It's like simple, but it works, yeah?
It's got a bit of flair to it. So it's Ford Bionic Blue, not a XY colour like True Blue. So I want to put it next to a True Blue one just to see how they resonate against each other. But yeah, the little pink highlights I've done, I've sort of tried to give everyone a bit of a hint with the meth lab paint job.
Meth lab. That.
So there's a bit of pink and all that sort of stuff. So I've got the pink on the toe strap and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So try to
nice little race
ease you guys into that something was coming up with a bit of a hot, flary pink.
Have you had any pushback? I mean, it's got an LS in it, so I mean...
10 years of hate, mate. I'm still going to the therapist every week.
I only just noticed this. I didn't even notice that you painted it pink. That's cool. Have you changed anything else on it? It's always been the same. You were just saying earlier, you just run low boost.
Yeah, well, when you guys saw it 10 years ago, it was just aspirated with 275 kilowatts. Now it's got the blower. I've just done new twin 3-inch stainless pipes, and it made 395 kilowatts now. Since you've seen it, we've taken it to the drags. Aspirated ran 12.2, and then we've got 12.0 with the blower on it. I can't get it off the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be hard to take off in this, wouldn't it?
I've broken divs and you name it.
Not worth doing.
No, not these days. I'll leave it to all the boys that you film drag race.
No, this is what I like about this. I'm a bit over the drags, I have to say. I kind of like cars that go around corners, so...
Well, I built this car to do everything.
Yeah.
Corners, drag racing, burnouts. Like, it's a street car. I drove it here with little Gary today.
It's a street car that you drift. Now, Gary, I hear that you did some of the paint work on it, mate.
Yeah.
You did, yeah? Yeah.
Did all the body work as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw a video of you laying down some paint on the back of it. Did a nice job, mate.
You came out every night and said, come on, Dad, are we working on the car? And I'm like,
Every morning?
Every
morning. You were saying you've been thinking about doing this for years.
Yeah, so I had a render done 5 years ago. And then my daughter was home sick one day, and I literally mowed the lawns, come out with the sandpaper and started hitting it. And a week and a half later, Picasso. We've got this beautiful XY now.
Did you already have the stickers made up, did you?
Those stickers have been on the shelf for 5 years.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Yeah, Brett had them done. So this is the OG shaker from back when it was bare metal. Paid $200, half of the grill was missing.
Yeah.
And then, so I thought, well, we've given the car a bit of a birthday. We'll get a new shaker, a new front spoiler. But when I was at the fiberglass, the old mate goes, I've actually got an XY bonnet. I said, oh, yeah? Brings it out around the corner. It had this bulky bulge. It was like a, what do you call it, the Fox Charger off running on empty.
Yeah, yeah.
Big letterbox with a scoop in it.
Yeah.
I said, mate, that's that ugly.
I didn't mind it.
Look cool on the car. And he goes, well, do you want it? Because I'm throwing it in the bin.
Yeah.
So I thought the internet was going to absolutely go to ham on me, and they didn't. So that's hanging up in the new man cave now. So
I guess the fact that you've got an LS in it, I mean, so I think when you first did it, obviously it was, oh, what are you doing? But I think there's less shock factor now, isn't there?
Nah, well, 10 years ago, you saw how much hate this car got, and I thrived on that hate. It made the car what it is today.
Massive change here, mate. This is almost too nice for this car. That's not how to go at you, but I wasn't expecting it.
No, well, prior to MotorX last year, so yeah, Jamie from Raceworks hit us up and said, so he goes, righto, I think we'll do a new fuel system, a brand new battery, brand new harnesses, new surge tank, new overflows in the engine bay, new steering wheel, you name it. He just gave me the catalogue and said, start ticking away.
Yeah, awesome.
And I built it all in 2 weeks before MotorX.
Look who's just turned up. Mr. Hollywood himself.
Fiscum H.
Matt here with the VK. negative camber on these front wheels. Great track car, the old Focus. As you can see, this is one of one. And there's about 6 backups behind him. These are a lot more, in a way, a lot more uncommon than your standard Subaru Evo type car. In Australia, I should say. But this one's, look, it's got the bit of scaffolding in the car. Love those Recaro RS seats. No back seat, spare track wheel in the back. This thing's got all the Instagram check boxes done. This is like a double fist job, these tailpipes. These are one of the more powerful 4-cylinder all-wheel drive hatches that have come out. The comment section can correct me, but pretty sure they were north of 250 kilowatts out of the box. I find it a little bit sad because companies like Ford and that, these cars are never going to exist again. If you want one, you've got to buy one like this, because going forward, these cars are slowly dying off. Manual transmission, all-wheel drive. This thing has everything to be a really quick, cool daily driver. Now look who we've run into, the famous Mr. Broomy, Paul Broomy. Full Boost fans know Broomy well. Here you go, mate. You got the infamous,
Thanks.
The red pointer. She's all yours.
Still got my nose.
It's been a while since we've seen the RX-7 on Full Boost. Give us an update of where you are. I think the last time we saw you, you'd just run an 8-second pass, but you've changed a few things since then, yeah?
Yeah, so we went out on about same power that was on the dyno, same boost, and it went 870, 160 back to back, so that was great. We then went out a few times after that, tried to turn the boost up significantly, and we just had a lot of misfire problems. So we've been chasing those now. I got really bored with the car, sort of in the off season, so to speak, and I put a 16-volt battery in it, got rid of the alternator, got rid of the water pump assembly, and also put an intercooler setup on it, which is really unusual for a rotor. It's not always something seen. The big fast sort of pro cars don't really run them because of the weight, but I'm a bit of an idiot and I didn't really care about that, and I just wanted to do it just to find out what difference it would make. I was a bit bored with it, so I like sort of still tinkering around with the car. So I was just sitting there ready to race, and I thought I'll just completely tear it apart and build something completely different again. So
are you running a water tank in the back, or? Yeah,
so in the back there's a water ice tank, and it runs to a Davies Craig water pump. So in there, I just put like water ice sort of slurry mix and that, and actually built a big coil, aluminium coil inside of it too, which can run. I was going to run auto transmission lines through it, so then it'll help keep the transmission cool too. So because it was starting trans-braking the burnout, then trans-braking in a launch, the temps were starting to get up, and that's the one thing that kills automatic transmissions is high temps.
You also built your own. I remember seeing you did a video about building your own like homemade trans cooler that you connect, yeah?
Yeah, so before I built the ice tank and had the water intercooler, and I wanted to build something to be able to take the temp out of it while it's in the pits. So I just built like a little homemade thing with a little fan and a trans cooler and a little pump, and it's got Raceworks quick disconnect fittings on it, so I can just sit underneath the guard here, and I can just easily just connect that in the pits and cool it as it goes. So if anyone's unfamiliar with the car, it's a 2-rotor. It now has a billet front and rear plate from Billet Pro, 88mm Garrett turbo. The water air intercooler setup, it's got power seal, apex seals, runs full fuel tech EFI system, hardwire electronics PDM, and it's got a nitrous outlet nitrous system they use in the trans brake to help it build boost. But last time out in the dyno, I made about 770 horsepower and 35 pound of boost, but next time out, we'd like to put 50 pound of boost into it and see how it goes. As long as the apex seals stay in it, it'll make the power. So
boost in, apex seals out, the old standard meme.
Something like that. And I haven't got much to travel either. It's only about a 3-foot path. So
well, touch wood. Those billet plates, you're sort of fixing a lot of the points that they can fail under big power.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just easy with like the wear factor around that too. I was going to have to replace them with cast iron plates anyway, and the amount of wear through all the boost and all the fuel wash, all the methanol and that, I just thought, why not just replace the Billet Pro plate? It's got an insert that you can just replace. So basically you're purchasing once and then you're never having to purchase ever again. You just replace that wear plate, which is pretty affordable. So
yeah, we've done a few videos with the guys from Billet Pro. Very nice product, made in Australia.
Well-renowned influencers such as Rob Dahm and Mad Mike and myself running their products. So
you're going to put yourself at the top there.
Not sure to take online advice from any of those three if you want to build an engine. Just influencers and entertainment first and experts second.
or I think this was one of the best eras of the V8 supercars, or supercars as it is known now, when we had multiple manufacturers in. The Mercedes here, awesome looking car. It honestly just looks like a hotted up street car. Awesome. What's that, a VK Group 3? SS Group 3. How's the engine bay in this thing? Very cool. This is an old friend of ours, Shane. Where are you? You're a bit too camera shy. I was trying to get you on camera in it, talk about your Datsun. Can't remember if this is an L series or a Z18 powered one, but who doesn't love a nice BMW E30? This is very clean. How's the engine bay? Very nice inlet plenum set up there. Hey, look, we've tracked him down. Here he is, the man who won't get on camera to tell us about his Datsun.
No chance, mate.
Is it Z18 powered or is it an L series?
It's a Z18, mate.
It is a Z18. I think this is some sort of kit car made in Malaysia. Build 2002, the deluxe Silverstone model with lots of extras. So it's a 3S FE engine. I think it's got a Celica 5-speed in it. Yeah, different. That's some serious auto salon paint there. How's the Fleck? That's like speedboat style. This is such a classic look for the 240. Perfect style era wheels. I love this grey paint job. Engine bay is immaculate. What a build. Well done to the owner. How's the number plates, huh? Perfect. So this has an RE engine in it, which for those that don't know is basically a late model 13B. So sort of what you'd find in the FD era. Different wheels on it too. Doesn't have the usual Bud Simmons like all rotaries. Speaking of number plates, check this out. Awesome HQ. Nice small block in there. Neat bay. Everyone goes on about GDR this, GDR that, but a much rarer Skyline. I really like these. The old DR30. Geez, I'm going to get flamed if I get this wrong. Pretty sure they're a factory FJ20 turbo. These were before the 6-cylinder. If I'm wrong, guys, correct me. Apologise, but yeah, I love these cars. You don't see too many of them. This boat is called Reckless, and it's just got a lazy 480 cubic inch injected big block, apparently at 1800 horsepower. 1800 horsepower in a boat. Come have a look at the fuel system. Petrol tank in there, pretty cool. Love these Bullet Mustangs. This one's got the Whipple supercharger on it. I love the wheels, everything about it, the colour. They did a really nice job of executing these cars. We're just here with Jordan and his Evo 4. I was just saying off camera, mate, that you'd have to say over the years, the Evo 4 was probably less desirable than some of the other models. Yeah. However, in recent times, I've noticed more people are buying them. I don't know if it's just because in a way, they're almost rarer. You don't see as many of them.
No, there doesn't seem to be as many of them around. When I actually got mine, it was more of a convenience thing than anything else. I didn't specifically want a 4. Or a 5 or 6 or anything. It just seems to be the one I ended up with.
That's just what came up.
Yeah, and look, to be honest, it's actually nice that it's got a little bit of rarity to it because they're not everywhere. Yeah. So it does get a little bit of attention. But look, I mean, overall, it's been a great car. I've had it for 13 or 14 years now, and it's been through a couple of iterations. So, but overall, it's nice to have something that not everyone else has got.
Yeah. So, do you race it in an actual series, or?
I do. So, I do the Victorian Hill Climb Championship, as well as selected rounds of New South Wales. So, like Bathurst, for instance. I also do various super sprints around the place too, and yeah, so it's actually set up for hill climb predominantly, but it gets a really good rap at sprints and stuff as well. So, and it's just a great fun car to drive.
These cars, did they come with Brembos, or was that the Evo 5?
No, the 5 did.
The 5 did.
Yeah, they're actually off an Evo 8MR.
Yep.
But look, this car, pretty much the only thing that's Evo 4 about it is the engine block and the shell. Everything else has gone and been modified, replaced completely, or there's actually a lot of one-off stuff on this car. So it's been a work in progress for probably, the last 10 years to get it where it is now. It doesn't make a massive amount of power, but it does certainly handle really well. Spend a lot of time setting up suspension, etc. So it really does give a lot of people the hurry up that are making more power.
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't need heaps of peak power, these cars. They're all about grip, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. And that's what it's been set up for. And with hill climbs, because it's set up for that predominantly, a lot of the hill climbs don't have the length in a track that where a lot of high power cars sort of get that advantage. So I'm able to do reasonably well from that regard. So.
Do you ever take it to circuits? Like, do you ever do that sort of stuff?
I'll Sandown, Winton, those sorts of things. There's also the RAF base down at Sale. They set the taxiways up as a bit of a racetrack, so I do that 3 or 4 times a year. And it's a whole lot of fun when you're ripping down a straight and all the roulettes are parked over on the left there.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it's good fun. But, Hill Climb's got a fantastic community, great people. A lot of us travel together. We stay together in towns where the races are and things. So, it's all in all, it's a whole lot of fun.
Looks like you've obviously got a lot of sponsors on board helping you out.
I do, and look, I try to help them as well. I obviously try to give them return on investment. Doing events like this, but also getting the name out there for them as well. Try to do my part, and also it sort of tries to raise the profile of hill climbing as well. And there's a lot of people that use these products in hill climbing, sprints, all those sorts of things. So yeah, it's a two-way street.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.
So here with Lucas, there's quite a few karts here at the Penrite Open Day, and you drive for Barra in Australia. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the car.
Obviously, I'm Lucas Rickard and I drive for the Parallel Australia racing team. This go-kart is a 100cc two-stroke air-cooled engine. I go about 115 kilometers an hour.
115?
Yes, I drive all around Australia.
Yep.
So the Parallel racing team is not just based here in Australia, it's also based in Europe and USA.
Okay. You're racing in the junior league, yeah? So you're on the younger side of that.
Yeah,
is that right?
I had to move up early from the Cadet 12 category to the K3 Junior.
Yep.
It was because I was too tall.
Oh, I see.
So I'm 12, possibly racing against 16-year-olds.
Because it really affects the performance of the car, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it puts a lot of load on the rear tyres and just grips it up too much.
Yep, awesome. Now, what's your favourite track? Do you have a favourite track?
My favourite track is Oakley.
Oakley, oh yeah.
Or Todd Road.
I know that one. I heard that you got to drive around Albert Park when the Formula One was on, is that right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was super cool.
That's a fair experience.
Yeah, I got to drive on there before all the F1 cars.
Yep.
A lot longer than I'm normally used to.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'd be a long track for you, wouldn't it? How long have you been doing this for?
So I started when I was 6 years old.
Yep.
Now I'm 12.
And you'd like to keep doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really enjoy it?
So Garth Tand is one of my big driver coaches and mentors.
Yeah, wow. That's awesome.
So he'll be helping me through my journey up and hopefully get a drive in V8 Supercars.
Well, hopefully we look back in another
10 years.
10 years, mate, and you're going to look at this interview and this guy's going to be a pro.
Yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
All the best. So we're here with Aaron. He's got this wild FJ45.
FJ45.
It is an FJ45. Tell us a bit about it, because it's basically, there's not much that you haven't touched, yeah?
Yeah, no, it's completely, the only thing that's original on it's the cab.
Yep.
So it's on an 80 series chassis, so 1996 Landcruiser chassis. It's got a 2012 Ford Falcon Barra turbo, and yeah, built it all in the shed at home.
And how long did that take?
2 years. It was a sort of a COVID project.
Yeah.
Just working every weekend and some nights, and lucky I got the best wife in the world. She allows me to do it, so yeah, it's good.
Are there many parts you can buy for this conversion, or is it a lot of one-off stuff?
It's a lot of one-off stuff, but there's a couple of workshops that do a lot of parts now.
Yeah.
So McKinnon's Cruisers in Queensland and LCS 4x4 down here. They make a lot of conversion parts for it now, so like all the engine mounts and cross members and stuff like that, and the guards and whatnot. But yeah, the rest of it is sort of just using the head.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You've done some pretty cool stuff with the electronics, haven't you?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
So it's got a Dakota digital dash, which is out of the States. It was like a 6 or 7 month build time.
Yeah.
And then that's connected to the Ford ECU. So it's running a Ford ECU. And there's a whole heap of different, adapters and whatnot going in between there. But effectively, the dash will show the speed and all the sensors and that from the Ford ECU. So I've got, check engine lights and OBD2 plugs and everything like that. So it's basically like a 2012 Falcon inside.
Probably drives better than a 2012 Falcon as well.
Yeah, it goes all right. So it's been tuned, and I got it tuned so it's low in the rev range, so it makes its peak torque at 2200 RPM. So it's good for the bush, being able to point it up a hill.
I noticed you don't have a big turbo on it, so this would drive really well.
No, it's a GT 30, what are they, 3576. Yep. So I bought a new genuine Garrett internal rotating assembly. But yeah, it's effectively an FG turbo, so it's smaller turbo, spins up quicker.
Is the ZF still standard internally?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, and even the engine and that as well, the engine I haven't touched. Most people put, head studs and oil gears and everything like that.
Oh, so yours is all stock?
It's all stock. It's actually an NA block because I was never going to run full power through it anyway. So it's all about torque. And as I said, 669 Newton meters at 2200 RPM. That's pretty good for me.
And I had a quick look at the engine bay before, and you clearly take it off-road.
Yeah, it's been off-road a couple of times. Funny story though, I've actually just sold it. So there's a guy in Queensland who's going to buy it. So before I went and destroyed it anymore in the bush. But yeah, no, it was built for purpose, taken out, got it drowned a few times, taken it up some big hills and whatnot. So yeah.
Have you got a new project to replace it?
I do. So yeah, I've got my own little YouTube channel, and currently I've got 2 builds on the go. I'm doing an EH panel van, which was my dad's. So V6 conversion and independent front and rear end conversion on that. And then I've got a daddy-daughter project, which I'm about to start, which is a little Jimny. And then I've got my 80 series. So when this sells, I'm actually going to Tassie in June to take my 80 series. And when I come back, I'm actually going to do an engine conversion on that.
Give yourself a plug. Where can guys see a bit more of your stuff?
Yeah, so the channel's called Skillo Shed. So it's on YouTube, got a TikTok and Instagram. The full build history for this is on Instagram. I sort of only just launched the YouTube channel. And yeah, just been picked up by Penrite as a brand ambassador. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's only ever going to be a little channel sort of thing, but just sort of give inspiration to people, backyard builders, that they can just get out and do it themselves, because I just do everything in the shed at home. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Like Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands.
What do I do with my hands?